Hello, Joshua. Good evening. Hello.
Hello, teacher.
Hello. Hi. Good evening.
Good evening, teacher.
Okay. How are you tonight?
I'm fine.
Okay, that's great. So, how is your school?
Just fine.
It's fine. Okay, that's great. So, did you miss going to school?
Yes.
Okay, that's amazing. So, by the way, this is the continuation of our class. So, Joshua, do you still remember the topic that we had last meeting?
Yes.
Okay. So last meeting we talked about those students who play games or use some website for learning. Okay. And we will just going to review that one before we have the activity for tonight. So let me try to share my screen now to you.
Yes.
Okay. So let's try to have a quick review about this one. Let me try to repeat this one. So here you will be having two first perspective about learning through video games. Okay, so the first perspective here is that gaming to learn through educational computer and video games that leads to real learning games. So here, as you can see, many of today's K-12 students are spending their time or class time and a lot of it is that exploring and writing sentences through the website. Okay, so meaning they are using an educational website to do some subjects or for some subjects like science and writing sentences. Also, social studies, English, technology, art, music, and health. They are using website for those subjects to have or to gain knowledge about it. Also on this one, Brain Pop is just one of the hundreds of educational game websites that help students to learn, especially in K to 12. But over the past 20 years, scientists have conducted 9 major reviews of research on the effectiveness of educational computer and video games. And to those researchers, the research shows that the games as a medium can be affected, but not always. Design is really what matters, and nobody assumes that all lectures, labs, or books are good to simply because of their medium. So meaning, um, for you to attract your student, it is not just all about computer or it is not all about websites or video game. It is also about the design who really matters because if you want to attract students, especially if you are a teacher, you need to do an effort about the designs that can attract your student. On the other hand, they also found out that the well-designed games can motivate students to learn less popular subjects like math, and that game-based learning can actually get students' interest in the subject matter. So let's try to talk about the second perspective for a moment. So here, the second perspective is that it is the review finds a video game may provide learning, health, and social benefits, especially those violent games that the scientists said that it may boost children's learning, health, and social skills according to the review. And also, playing violent games can also enhance their skills, especially in learning. On the other hand, if playing video games can simply make people happier, this seems to be fundamental emotional benefit to consider. Meaning, playing video games is not also enhancing or improving um, students about the subjects that they learn in school. This also helps students to be or especially people to be happier if they are experiencing an emotional problem with their lives. So now, do you have any more questions about this one?
No.
If we don't have any more questions, we will be now moving on and the activities that you will be having tonight. So here is the first activity. Do you have your book with you?
Yes.
Okay, because we will be having this one now. So on the first activity, again, we will be having this one where you need to complete the sentences by using singular or plural form of words. So let's start with number one.
Number 1.
Yes, please.
Researchers question whether video games are also educational tool. Education
Yes.
tool or a useful educational tool.
Mhm.
In other words, can video games be helpful to education?
Okay, so here the researchers said that video games is a useful educational tool because they are using it nowadays. But can video games be helpful to education? Because in sometimes it is also a distraction for many students. Now let's have number two.
Number 2. Um, mm, Players often have different emotion when they play video games. It's really emotional.
Okay, so some people are happy and relaxed when they play, which is an emotional benefits of gaming. Okay, thank you. Now, we will be having now the next one, which is here. Let's try to have number three.
Number 3. Um,
You will be having motivation
Some
and
teachers believe that using computer games in the classroom improves motion motivation or for students to learn less popular subjects. However, not all games are motivational.
okay. So some teacher believe that using computer games in the classroom improve motivation, especially for students who has less mm, who has less popular subject like math or science. However, those computer games is not motivational at all because some of the computer games nowadays are mostly violent or some are violent. So how about number four?
Number 4. mm, People in profession such as education and health study the use of violent video games by children. Many professional educators. Yes.
Okay, educators debated the effect of violent media on young people. Okay, so people in profession, such as education and health, study the use of violent games by children, and many professional, like those educators, debate the effects of violent media on young people because nowadays young people might adapt. They might adapt the violent things that happen online because there are some news that those things happen in real life. Okay, there are also some kids that um that try those violent things in real life, like driving alone, and that is too dangerous for them. because they are still a kid. Now, let's have the last one, number 5.
List number 5.
Mhm.
Other researchers in the field of physiology are studying the autistic physiological.
Okay, thank you. So other researchers in field of psychology are still studying the effectiveness of learning game for college students, and they are also examining the psychological effect that the game may have on the students' critical thinking skill. Because psychologists believe that, or they also learned that playing violent video games helps students to learn or to think wisely, okay? Or they enhance the critical thinking or cognitive skills of students. Now, do you have any more questions about this one, Joshua?
No.
Okay, so we will be moving on now with this one. So here are the antonyms, okay? Antonyms are words with different or opposite meanings. For example, allow and prohibited are antonyms. Wait for a moment. So here are the words that also have an antonym with this one. So you have your book with you, right?
Yes.
Because it ended up here. So we are not going to look at this one until the very end. Now, let's try to have the first one. Can you try the answer number 1?
Mm. Parents sometimes fear that children who play video games are um or resilient. Resilience.
Okay, are you sure with the answer? Resilience?
Isolated.
Okay. Parents sometimes fear that children who play video games are isolated. So isolated means that those kids who likes to be alone in one place. Okay, because the antonym of the word isolated is group. Okay, so we already have a clue here. Now let's try to have number 2.
With teacher.
Okay.
I find the phone. Yes, teacher.
Are you good now?
Yes.
Okay. So if you are ready, you can now answer number 2.
The first answer was isolated.
Yes, it's isolated.
Yes. The second one, teachers question whether the use of computer games in the classroom will lead to um uh what was resilience?
Okay, so resilience.
Yes.
So resilience means you have the ability to respond or to change in diversity, meaning you are adapting the things around you.
Yes.
Another thing is that also resilience is the ability to move through and grow from difficult times. As a person, for example, you are having a hard time, but you have this kind of resilience into you.
Yes.
So you already have a clue here. Loss or lose. What is the antonym of the word lose?
Clues?
Yes, because here we are talking about antonyms. Antonyms are words with different or opposite meaning. Like, for example, your answer in number 1 is isolated. And the antonym of the word isolated is group. Did you get it?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm, enhanced.
Okay, your answer is enhance.
Yes.
Okay, so enhance is your answer. You can change it earlier if you want. Now let's try the half number 3.
Three. Some believe that playing video games can help children to learn flexibility.
Okay.
Um,
Inflexibility. Some believe that playing video games can help children.
resilience.
Okay, resilient when they play. Very good. Now let's try the half number 4.
Mm, number 4.
Yes, please.
Mm, parents and teachers alike.
Okay, alike. So because the antonym of the word alike is different. Okay, but let's try the half number 2 again. Teacher questioned whether the use of computer games in the classroom will lead to a blank in learning. So loss. So the answer might be gain.
Yes.
Okay. So do you have any more questions about this?
Nothing.
Nothing at all. So let's try the next one. So here you have number 5.
Number 5. Um, According to the American Psychology Association, playing video games enhance. Huh? Enhance, I think.
According to the AK enhance.
Yes.
Okay. So I will just going to write it down, okay? Enhance child health and social skill. Okay. How about number 6?
Number 6. Um, Number 6. Well-designed computer games may courage. Teacher, the before that one, the words before.
Okay.
Yes.
You want to see the words?
Yes.
Okay. Wait for a moment. So it's hard to, okay. So I will just going to write it down, okay? Wait for me. Okay. Good now?
Yes.
So let's have the next one now, which is number 6, I think.
6.
Yes, please.
Well-designed computer games might Boost.
Okay. Remember, you already have a clue here. Discourage.
Yes.
What is your answer?
Boost.
Okay, number 6 is boost, as you say. Okay, let's have 7.
Ignore. Not ignore. Oh. Resilience.
You already have a resilience in number 3.
Ah, we have to erase this one. We do.
Yes.
Erase and
And
resilience. Yes.
resilience. Okay.
Parents are advised to motivate.
To motivate the type of computer games and their children.
There is no perfect word to
Okay, so let's
it
try.
here.
Okay, let's try to skip that. Number 8.
Number 8.
Mm-hmm. So as you can see here, number 7, parents are advised to blank the type of computer games and that their children play. What do they need to do?
Yes.
They need to monitor.
Ah, yes.
Okay. Now let's
Monitor.
yes.
Some researchers found that creativity was also worsened. Gain.
Okay. Now
Gain
let's have number 9.
because of, despite.
Okay, despite. Then
Specifically, what?
specifically.
Specifically.
Okay, very good. So let's try to have number 5 and number 8 here. So, as you can see, according to the American Psychological Association, playing video games enhance children's health and social skills. So decrease and enhance, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, some researcher found that creativity will also gain, okay, by playing any kind of video games, including violent one. Very good. So all in all, you all get the correct answers here. So now we will be moving on with this one. Again, the vocabulary and context. So wait for a moment. Okay, so you can now answer number 1.
Parents experience as a skilly child. This is different one,
Yes, it's a different one.
but there is the same as
Yeah, but
motivated and
yes, the choices are just the same.
same. Yes. Experience as I can't see the
Wait for a moment. Okay, here. You can start now.
yes. Carlos experience as a sickly child. Motivated.
Okay, motivated her to become a doctor. Okay, very good. Now let's have number 2.
Despite.
Okay, despite, very good. So despite the cold weather, I am going to take a walk on the beach. Now let's have 3.
My parents have different views.
Okay, views, very good. Let's have 4.
I always put insect repellent on my arms and legs too. Ward off.
Okay, ward off. Very good. Now let's have 5.
Being a good reader is fundamental.
Okay, again, what is the other word for fundamental?
Um, uh, important.
Okay, very good. Important. Now let's have number 6.
6. The small tree bent but did not break during the storm because of its hope. No. Now. Resilience.
Yes, that's the meaning of resilience because that small tree bent but did not break during the storm, meaning he is still strong even though he experienced a lot of things like the storm. Okay,
Yes.
now let's have number 7. Wait for a moment. Here it is. 7.
7. The music enhanced.
Okay, the music enhanced the play and made the experience even more enjoyable. Let's have 8.
Many pets specifically.
Okay. So many pets, specifically cats and dogs, are often treated like family by their owners. And last 2, number 9.
It was very difficult for people in the town to debate.
To debate, are you sure?
Cope.
Yes, to cope after the terrible earthquake. So meaning they are having a hard time to deal or attempt to overcome the problem that they experience or the disaster that they experienced. Now, last one.
Last one. Instruction often debate.
Okay. So they debate about the use of cell phones in the classroom because some think they can be useful, but others find them distracting. Okay, any more questions?
No.
No? So let's try to have now the next one. So here, as you can see, you will be having a bar graph. So we need to look at the bar graph to answer some questions here. So the bar graph is all about how frequently do students use computer games in your classroom. So you have this one, how often they use those computer and how many percent, and other things. So you can look at that one, okay? So you will be having some questions about it. So let's try to have the first one. So first question about the graph or the bar graph, how many K-8 teacher participated in the survey?
Survey.
Yes,
Hey. What is a K?
K-8.
K8.
It is something about education. K-12 students. So K-8, they are in the middle schools.
How many? Where is K8?
Okay, you need to look at the bar graph.
Yes. Where is a cave date among who use digital games in teaching?
Did you see it?
Yes.
Okay, so what is the answer? How many K-8 teacher participated in the survey?
513.
Very good, because as you can see here, there is n is equals to 513. So the number of teacher who participated in the survey are 530. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, now let's try to have the question number 2. What percent of teacher use computer games in their classroom once or more?
Or more?
Yes?
What percent of teacher use computer in the once a week? Once a week. Once a week. Every day. 55%.
Okay, 55%. Now, to let's try to have the next one. So, additional question. What percent of teachers use computer games in the classroom once a month or less? So, we will be having the bar graph again. Remember, the question, what percent of teachers use computer games in their classroom once a month or less? Ready?
Yes.
We need to find those teachers who use computer games once a month.
Once a month. Once a month. 12,
Okay.
11, 10.
Okay, so how many is that?
33.
Okay, 33. So let's have, it's so hard.
So hard.
Yeah, it's so hard to rotate because it's cut. Now let's try to have number 4.
How do you typically have your students use digital
Oh,
programs?
we still have number 4.
Yes.
Yeah,
What percent of almost never use? Yes. Oh, I can see this.
Okay.
No. Almost not. 10%.
Okay. Once or twice a year. Okay, almost 10 or 10%. Because they only try to use computer games once or twice a year. So it's 0. Now let's try to have the next one. So as you can see here, you will also going to have a pie graph. So how do you typically have your student use the digital games? So you have some labels here and also their colors. Ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's start with number 1. What percent of students use digital games at home for homework?
Okay. Oh. 5%.
Okay, it's 5%. So number 2, what percent of students use digital games with one or more partners?
Which one or more? Uh, uh, uh,
Those students who use digital games with one or more partners.
34.
Yes, it's 34. 20% and 14%. Let's have the next one. What percent of students use digital games by themselves?
Mm. What percent of use digital games is one or more partners? What percent of students use digital games is by themselves? Where is it? 30%.
Okay, it's 30% because the label here for orange is alone or individually. So meaning they are using digital games by themselves. So now it's all done with that. Now we will just going to continue the rest in our next class. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, so thank you for tonight and have a good night ahead. Bye bye. Thank you, Joshua.
Bye bye, teacher.
Bye.